So hi, on the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy motherfucking Tuesday, dude. Happy
Wow, dude.
Tuesday.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Shout out Tuesday.
hmm
I don't know about you. I'm feeling the exhausted vibes this week. Um,
Yes.
Not entirely sure how I made it to the podcast time that I scheduled with
Yeah, this was
you
all you. Yeah.
this morning, but I'm stoked to announce that I made it and was on time, which
hmm
is a rare occurrence. Um,
Yes. I mean, it's later than the original time that we were going to do yesterday. You wanted to do 8:30 a.m. yesterday again. And I said, okay.
And I quickly realized when I woke up Sunday morning that
Yep.
getting up at that time Monday morning was not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Not
I,
even
I mean,
close.
thank God it didn't because I was like the definition of wiped, Like it
Yeah.
was just bad. It was bad.
Yeah. I woke up Sunday and I was like, I know Monday's a new day, but there ain't a shot in hell. I slept way too fucking late on Sunday
Yeah.
and I'm still tired this morning. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was late to work yesterday. Like it's just the week is all fucked up, but I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to potentially resetting myself next week. This week's just a wash. I've given up.
Yeah, let's just look at next week. I know
Yeah.
it's only Tuesday, but just fuck all of
Yeah,
it.
we're just looking ahead to next week. Next week's gonna be way better. This week,
Yeah.
I'm feeling the vibes for sure.
hmm
This is also fun. We're pre-recording the podcast, and it's going to go out on the same day. So the Happy Tuesday is for the people listening to this on Tuesday.
On
How
Tuesday.
fun
Isn't
is
that
that?
beautiful?
Yeah, last
Yeah.
week I was so ballsy thinking that I was gonna, I don't know, edit the podcast in warp speed. It came out way later than I wanted it to. I'll be honest with you.
It happens, dog. It happens.
um, but this is real fun because Glory went to a show. Glory's away right now. If you don't have eyes or are listening to the audio of this,
Yeah, the
um,
birds and the trees and
yeah, and the outside and the phone quality audio and
all right. Yeah. Yeah, and the shitty reception and like whoa, holy shit, dude.
she went to a show. So take it away, Glory.
I this weekend I drove fine, so I just went to fucking rally and I saw August Burns Red, Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium.
Oh
All
yeah.
fucking incredible. I unfortunately got there late, so I only got to see those three bands.
Mhm.
So disappointing, but it's fine. Great show. August Burns Red was incredible. It was my first time seeing them. I've heard so many good things about their live show, especially with the person I was with. I was with my best friend Catherine. She's like their number one fan. She loves their live show. So she was like, dude, you're gonna love this shit. They're so good at their jobs and they're all like tens. And then when you put them on stage, and then it's just it was a moment. It was a vision. It was incredible. Um, Bullet for My Valentine was also really good. It's strange because like I grew up knowing the name and I've only heard like a couple of their songs. I only know I think it's couldn't tell you the name of it. There's a song in a playlist that I really
Probably
like.
tears don't
Um,
fall.
it's not actually.
Oh,
It's not My Curse is Kill Switch Engage. It's like right next to My Curse on the playlist. But fuck. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm not gonna look at it. It's fine. I think it's My Betrayal. Something Betrayal. Whatever. Anyways, moving on. Bullet for My Valentine was really good. Again, it's a band that I grew up knowing but not really listening to. Definitely one of those iconic scene bands. One that it's like if you were alive and in the scene like the early 2000s, you know Bullet for My Valentine. You probably love Bullet for My Valentine. So it was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It was fucking dope. It was really cool seeing the singer also play the guitar. I love that type of shit because we didn't know who was on stage at first because there was no like visuals or anything saying this is who's playing right now, and it's a co-headliner. So it
mhm.
was kind of like, is that Trivium or is that Bullet for My? Because we're all the way on the lawn.
Yeah, you were
So
back
for the
there.
we were back there. So it was like for the first four songs we thought it was Trivium and we are like, damn, this is really fucking good. And then they played a song and my friend looked at me and she went, this is Bullet for My Valentine. And I went, are you serious? She was like, yeah, this is I thought this was Trivium. I was like, yeah, I thought so too. Surprise, surprise. Trivium was fucking insane. I feel like they got obviously they were the headliner of the night, but they got like the best fucking setup, man. They it was dark as shit. All the lasers were going crazy, like fucking flames and shit. And I was just like, damn, I wish Bullet for My Valentine kind of got this lighting and stuff because it just completely changed the entire vibe. Crazy show. All the bands crushed it. It was just so pleasant. I'm a fan of lawn shows now. Before, it's okay. But I get it now. I like it. I like it. There was a lot of, water bottles tumbling and rolling down the hill, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Very jealous that you got to go to that tour.
Mhm.
I wound up missing it when it rolled through.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Trivium has been a band that I've wanted to see again since I saw them a few years ago open for the Lamb of God Megadeth Metal Tour of the Summer
Yeah.
tour thing that happened.
When everyone was doing like fucking crazy ass tours.
Yeah, right out of the pandemic.
Mhm.
And although I don't listen to a ton of Bullet for My Valentine, feels like a band that at some point I'm gonna have to see.
They were insane. Yeah.
Continue to miss them every time they come through. But I'll catch him at some point, and the support on that tour being Bleed From Within and August Burns Red.
So upset I missed Bleed From Within. I caught maybe like the last 30 seconds of their set and I was so pissed because it's like it's just crazy. The shit that they do, man. The crowd seemed like they loved them. They were cheering and shit when they were leaving. So it was, like the whole, this was so good. So whatever, man.
Yeah.
I'll catch him. I'll catch him.
You'll catch him. You'll catch him. I went to a show on Sunday in a barber shop.
That's
because why the fuck not? The first band my boss ever managed, the Moms, got back together and did a secret show inside this barber shop. So that's where I spent my Sunday. It was pretty dope. Obviously, there weren't a ton of people there. It was a secret show. No one knew they were playing.
Yeah.
But it was dope because obviously I never got to see the Moms. I'm friends with Maddie, the drummer, and I know John, the bass player. So it was cool to see them rip as the Moms. And that was a good time. They sounded great, and obviously the people were into it. Everyone was like, "Holy fuck, the Moms are back!" So
that's really cool.
That was pretty dope. Coming up for me, I got Ice Nine Kills weekend. Seeing them Friday, open for Metallica and Limp Bizkit. I still cannot believe I'm seeing Ice Nine Kills, Limp Bizkit, and Metallica on a bill together.
Crazy fucking bill.
That sounds made up. And then Saturday is getting to hear the first Silver Scream in full, and then Sunday is getting to hear the second Silver Scream in full, which is very exciting. The support on those shows is stacked as well. All sorts of great bands: Funeral Portrait, TX2, Dark Divine, Hail the Sun, which I'm excited to finally see, and is the wild card out of all of the bands. The Word Alive, Melrose Avenue. Support is stacked. I'm excited. I'm very excited to hear those two records in full, especially the first Silver Scream, because that's what I was,
the jig is up. Come on.
Yeah, when I was getting into Ice Nine Kills, that was their most recent record. I spent a shitload of time with that album, so getting to hear that in full is exciting to me. And I'm excited to see the second album in full, although I'm much more a fan of the first one. But the support on those shows makes it even more worth it. Absolutely killing one of my weekends for Ice Nine Kills all weekend. The support bands on the shows makes it a little less painful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please record Fly for me.
We'll do. I got a seat for both nights, so it'll be nice and stationary for you. It'd be a perfect sight lines of the stage and everything.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And then I'll text it to you, so it's 240p.
Exactly. So then it's fucking too big, and I can barely hear it. It's blown out, and half the screen is covered by you just doing it. So thanks so much for sending by.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Always. If they only play it twice, then I could go like this for. Guys in New Jersey play Fly twice. I got to do something funny.
It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be so funny. Jesus, dude.
But we do have a shitload of albums to talk about.
Too
Deluxe
many.
albums, there's more than I think we've ever talked about. Way too many singles. There's a reason why we're pre-recording this. And, we missed the live stream. And there's a reason why we're still doing this. And it's because there's so much music that came out last week. And we're going to
It's
talk
like
about it
too much.
all.
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
It
of it.
was a lot. Kicking it off, Arrows in Action dropped their new album. I think I've been here before, Side A. It is, of course, the first part of their full-length record titled I Think I've Been Here Before. Side B will be coming out later this year. I got to chat with the band about the album kind of in its entirety. We focused mainly on Side A, with the one being coming out around the time of recording. But we dabbled with some Side B talk as well, getting to talk a little bit about the different vibes and whatnot. And I honestly think that this record is really, really solid. I enjoyed Arrows in Action's first album, the debut record, and we've been following them for a long fucking time.
Ages.
We
Since
had
we
them
started,
on, we had them on the podcast back in 2020, so we've been following them since the beginning. But I liked that record, and this is something we kind of talked about in the on the interview. Little like it was kind of a little bit all over the place, throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. A little disjointed in places. There were what they're very good at, which is the pop rock bangers, and then there was a heavy ass song in the middle of the album, which I loved, by the way, and I wish they'd do that again. But kind of all over the place, which was great, for a debut record showing their range. But they've really honed it in, and this first side of the record is extremely cohesive feeling, and albeit not intentional, because again we talked about this in the interview, very fitting for the season. Going into the summer, this has got the summer vibes. The way it opens with Celebration is like the perfect tone setter for the album and for the feeling you're gonna get listening to this side of the record. And then with Deja Vu closing it off, that is perfect as well. But I really, again, although it was not intentional, it was perfectly timed the way that this is rolling out, with this first side coming out in the spring going into the summer, and then the second side coming out later this year, probably around the fall time, because we talked about the dichotomy of the vibes. This band can write choruses, and that's what I fucking love about them. It's just consistent earworm choruses across the entire album. It's almost aggravating, because it's like then all the choruses start fighting for which one is going to get stuck in my head for the day. They start blending together. Bless you. They start. You're welcome. They start blending together, and then I create my own chorus in my head because they're all so goddamn catchy. Like I said, Celebration is a fantastic way to open the record. Feel It Again, honestly, might be my favorite. It's like the literal definition of a strong ass chorus, and I love it. The chorus is stuck in my head as I'm talking about the song,
as we speak.
Literally as we speak. Light Like You is great as well. I mean, honestly, I could name all 6 songs as favorites, so I'm not going to name each one. But I really thoroughly enjoyed this, and I'll be jamming it for sure, because it is I like my pop rock and my pop punk and genres like that to fit the vibe of the season I'm listening to it. So that's when I pull out the pop punk vibes and the pop rock vibes, is around this time of year. So this is perfect. If this part of the album dropped in the fall, I would have been like, this is great, and then I probably would never listen to it again. But this will be on repeat, and it will be great to get to see them in August during the summer vibes, playing songs from this album.
Damn straight. This record's fucking incredible. Granted, it's 20 minutes long. It is side A. So personally, the rollout for me is a little confusing because it is on the shorter end. To me, 20 minutes reads like EP, but it's an album split in half, so that's fine. With the attention span that people have now, honestly, it makes sense to kind of put out a 20-minute album instead of a 40-minute record. But that's rollout rollout aside, I think this record is great. I think you kind of nailed everything. It is a summer record for sure. It has those beachy, warm vibes, especially like the cover art. It all matches together. It's all very cohesive. Um, I think they have their shit locked. They know exactly what they're supposed to do. And they know what their fans like and they know what they're confident in. So it's a fucking incredible pop rock record. Yeah, shout out Airs in Action. Celebration, the opener is fucking perfection. It is perfection.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And
Mhm.
like I said, they're going to be touring. They're touring all over the goddamn place, but in the US in particular, they're going to be on the summer school tour. Peep the dates. Great ass lineup.
Yeah,
And if it's coming near you, you should go.
damn straight. Hell yeah.
Um,
Shout out Airs in Action. Sleep Theory dropped their new album Afterglow. This album fucks. This is incredible. Sleep Theory has been getting their flowers, thankfully, for like, fuck, it feels like they just kind of like blew up out of nowhere. And now it's just kind of been just snowballing and they've just been getting bigger and bigger and getting more and more recognition. So I feel like this album dropped at the absolute perfect time. The rollout, I'm sure it was like the appropriate length, but it felt so short. It felt like it was announced and then it just came out, which is I'm not complaining because there's a theme going on of bands announcing an album like 6, 7 months before it actually drops.
yeah.
So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at how quick it felt. Um, I what I really like about this record is it balances kind of like electronic techno themes with kind of like the heavier metal side. That shit is so good while also still having light, almost like poppy vocals. It's just there's a lot of things going on and some things that you would kind of be like, I don't know if you could do all of those and package it together so well, but how they do it is very cohesive. It's very easily digestible, and dude, the album flows so fucking well. I have no notes. I think it's a great record.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was very excited for this record from Sleep Theory. We had them on the podcast to chat about the EP, became a fan from that point forward. And watching this band's rise has just been absolutely insane.
Mhm.
And they knocked it out of the park with this record. There was a mission with this album, and they absolutely achieved it and exceeded it.
Mhm.
My only gripe with the record is there are two songs from the EP that made their way onto the album, and I
Mhm.
love the EP songs, and I understand
They had their
from a
time.
business perspective and a streaming perspective and the year of 2025 in putting out music. I understand all of that, but as a
Mhm.
fan that spent so much time with those songs already, I don't want to hear them on the album that I was
Yeah.
excited about with new music.
Yeah. It's a little confusing. Yeah.
Believe me, Fallout and Numb are phenomenal songs. They're
Mhm.
standouts off of the EP. But them being on the record, I didn't know. I didn't know what the track list was going in. I didn't know
Yeah.
shit. I knew I had listened to all the singles, but I didn't know what the track list was looking like. Because quite frankly, if I can't hear the songs, I don't really care what the titles are.
Exactly. Yeah, because it doesn't really help with anything because you have nothing to draw the name to. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, there's a song called it's like I don't know what the fuck it sounds like, so why the fuck should I make note of it yet? You
Yeah,
know? It's
so
just like, yeah.
when 3 finished up and Fallout came on, I'm like, what the fuck? Because I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
But the way it opens with Static, Hourglass, and 3 is a phenomenal 1, 2, 3 punch.
Oh yeah, that first half is crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking phenomenal.
Mhm.
Honestly, the entire first half of the record is great. You mentioned them blending electronic elements into the music, which is phenomenal and one of my favorite things about the band. But their ability to write just
Mm,
phenomenal choruses. As you know, I'm the chorus sucker of the group.
you are. Yeah.
Littered throughout this record. Another reason why I love this band so much. Stuck in my head, ironically enough, is the song that's always stuck in my fucking head.
It's almost like they named it that way.
Yeah, it's almost like they knew that was going to happen. A goddamn earworm and a half.
Mhm.
Parasite is phenomenal as well. Like I said, the first 3. Fallout is great, although I wish personally that it wasn't on the record. I can go listen to the EP if I want to. Afterglow, there's just so many phenomenal songs on this record. All of the singles really showcased how awesome this album was going to be, and I think they knocked it out of the park. They're heading out on a headline tour to support the record, which is phenomenal. Peep those dates. And then as of recording 30 minutes ago, because we started this recording at 10 a.m., they will be supporting Falling in Reverse on Falling in Reverse's massive summer headlining tour. Select dates on that. They're not
on that tour?
They're not supporting the whole run, but that is what is going on. And that Falling in Reverse tour has support, and this is again in select markets, from Slaughtered to Prevail, Wage War, Hollywood Undead, Tech Nine, Sleep Theory, and Point North.
That's a mixed bag.
That is definitely a mixed bag.
There's a lot of things going on that lineup. A lot of things. Shout out Sleep Theory though.
Arm's Length dropped their new album. There's a whole world out there. I've honestly been patiently waiting for this Arm's Length record. I really dug their debut album. And I think that this is a genuine step up, and I felt that way since the first single. And I feel that the band leveled up significantly from their EPs and their previous work to the debut record. There was a very dramatic shift, and they just honed in on how good that album was with this record. Really zeroed in on the best parts of the album into this record, and like Alan's vocal performance in particular is really something special. And I think that he delivers the emotion that you're supposed to feel throughout the record incredibly well. Plenty of gut-wrenching songs on this album that make me question if I'm really doing okay or not, which
it opens up a couple things.
It really got me thinking, texting my loved ones, things like that. I love the way it opens with The World. I think that's such a strong opener. Really, again, another phenomenal 3 or 4 track run here with The World, Fatal Flaw, Funny Face, and The Wait are all fantastic songs. And then it kind of tails off at the end, with Genetic Lottery and Attic, but picks back up with Holly, and then Morning Person, I feel, is a very fitting type of closer for this kind of record, and really seals the deal on this album. Another special shout out to You Ominously End. That song is phenomenal as well. That was a single, but a special shout out to that one. Just across the board, this is really a step up. It's been super awesome to see the band and the growth that they've had since the debut. They're out headlining right now, and the rooms, they're big and they're full. And even when I saw them open for Silverstein, which is not exactly the direct fan correlation,
no.
people were into it then. Watching this band's rise has been phenomenal, and they really knocked it out of the park with this record. Again, kind of like the Sleep Theory record, I feel like there was kind of something to prove with this album, with the hype of the debut, and I think that they knocked it out of the park for sure, and I'm excited to see where this record takes them.
Damn straight. This record was, honestly, it blew me away. I was very excited because all of the singles that we had reviewed leading up to it, I enjoyed. And I mean, we've been following Arm's Length for years. I'm pretty sure since the beginning as well, of the podcast. Not obviously we've been there since day one, since our day one. We've been, supporting them, listening to them, and following them. So it's really great to see the progression, the evolution of their sound. And honestly, man, this record, I kind of got emotional listening to it. I mean, not in a wow, I felt emotions for the first time. No, the album's fucking gut wrenching. There are a bunch of songs we were like, holy shit. But I feel like that's just kind of the arm's length deal. You're gonna
listen
arm's length
to effect.
So it's you listen to it and you know it's gonna open up a can of worms. Whether you're gonna deal with it or not, the worms will be out there. So it's kind of
you might want to deal with them. There's a lot of worms going on.
Worms are everywhere.
Worms are everywhere.
Squirming everywhere. It's freaking me out. It's so gross. So but not in that way. It's more so in a way of like, damn, for whatever, it just feels like it felt like they're growing up. This record felt so clean and just iconic, I guess. You know when you get kind of like that gut feeling of listening to a record and you're like, holy shit, this is gonna this is gonna be big.
Mhm.
Like this is gonna be like one of those records that like you can't get away from, or it's like their magnum opus. Um, so I don't know. This record just gave me that feeling. And I hope it rings true. I hope this record does incredible things for them. I mean, they're already kind of on the up. They're already crushing it. They already have a cult-like fan base. So it's like if this record can harness even more people who kind of have the rabid arm's length deal, it's gonna be fucking crazy for them. Great record, phenomenal. Shout out Holly. That was my favorite track off the record. I think it's incredible. Um, yeah, big fan. Big fan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like I
Mhm.
said, they're out headlining right now. They're wrapping it up, this massive headlining tour. And then they're going to be going back out doing some smaller club shows, again, in support of the record, kind of along the East Coast.
Mhm.
So peep the dates. I'm sure they're going to be on the road a shit ton. New record. They're not going to be sitting at home.
Exactly. No, they got big plans.
Hell yeah.
Big plans. The Callous Daoboys dropped their new album. I don't want to see you in heaven. Hell yeah. Fucking okay, so I love this band. I have to sit up for a second. I love Callous Daoboys so much. This band is so special to me. I mean, we were introduced to them back 2022, maybe 2021 was when we kind of got, and I didn't like them. And I was very upfront about that. I listened to it and I was like, I don't know what's happening here. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the EP in full and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Or was that the full length?
It was
No,
full length.
it was the full length. It was their debut. No,
Oh.
no, it was not. It was not because they had the Mars record.
Mhm.
Fuck, it was a full length. For whatever reason, I just mark it as a.
Celebrity
Anyways,
therapist.
shout out. Um, Great record. Shout out Celebrity Therapist. If you haven't listened to it already, fucking listen the shit out of that record.
Mhm.
It is insane. So, anyways, back to this one, the 2025 release. I was very excited when they announced the record and then following through with all of the singles. None of them missed. I loved every single one of them, especially Lemon. Lemon, even though it kind of stands out like a sore thumb on the record, to be completely honest, because it's such a step back from all of the chaos and just loud that is the Callous Daoboys.
Yeah.
For that reason, I love it so much because it is so not the typical stuff that they do, and they're still able to pull it off incredibly well. Another single that I really liked was it's a long ass title. It's like the unrelenting reality limping like a dog,
Oh, the
something like
demon
that.
of unreality limping like a dog.
There you go, that one. I thought that was also, I think, one of the first singles that they dropped. Incredible. So out the gate, I was so fucking excited for this record. All of that just to say, me excited, me big excited. So then finally getting able to sit down and listen to this record in full and kind of take in the chaos and unrelenting just energy and vibes and scariness and excitement that is Callous Daoboys. It was such a fucking trip. And it just reminded me, holy shit, I gotta get right back into this band. It's Callous Daoboys season anyways. That's fine. It's typically around this time. It's like you get into pop punk around like summertime. I get into Callous Daoboys. We're just like the complete opposite. Um, they are able to harness so many different elements and genres, and it's like they're their own prog. It's just the weirdest thing because prog typically has like, in my opinion, like a standard, like a base of like this is what is going to be at the base of every prog song. They said fuck that. We're just going to mix like six songs into one, no transitions, but you're going to fucking love it, and I do. The record flows very well. The record is chaotic, but still very cohesive. It is Callous Daoboys. It's like if I wanted to introduce someone to this band, I would say just listen to this record. It has literally everything you need to know, especially because of tracks like Lemon, where it shows like, yeah, no, they get a little fucking crazy and they start screaming and shit. Like Carson like screams his heart out on this record, but he can also like sing a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's kind of dope. Big fan of this record. I love this band so much. And yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Hell yeah.
Love Callous Daoboys.
Yeah. What you just mentioned about like the range that this record covers is something that I really enjoy about the album, because in the past, Callous Daoboys has been kind of just like all gas, no brakes. Let's go. How fucking chaotic can it be? Let's get absolutely crazy. How many time signatures can we fit into one song? And also, how heavy can it be all at the same time? And believe me, I love that. But this kind of record was what I was expecting with the band starting to gain some popularity and some success. There is definitely still the Callous Daoboys deep in this album. It is littered exactly what you would expect is what you get from plenty of this record. But this is also has so many moments on the album that are for kind of your average listener, where like a song like Lemon, which you texted me this morning, like this still sounds like a song like from The Used, which I feel the same way. You know, there are songs on this record that are mass appeal, and there's nothing wrong with that because the band has been getting the mass appeal attention. They just finished up a fucking tour with Chiodos, like fucking insane, bro. Like those rooms were massive, all sold out, by the way.
As it should be.
Yeah. And you know, so that was kind of what I was expecting. So you know, the record opens with a kind of intro track, which by the way, do not if you are scared, like if you're a little scary cat like me, do not listen to this while driving in the dark at night, kind of sort of in the middle of nowhere, driving on back roads to try to get to the highway. Like I was fucking terrified. I had also just awoken from a nap. I happened to fall asleep on the couch at 11:30 and was awoken to have to leave. And this was the first thing I put on when I got in my car.
That's fucked.
Really fucked up and wild. What a way to kick off that drive home. Collection of Forgotten Dreams. What a crazy opening song.
Freaky,
very freaky, but really sets the tone for the record. And then, you know, the first real track of the album, Schizophrenia Legacy, straight up just what you expect from Callous Daoboys. The middle is kind of where it gets a little weird. There's some slow moments, not just Lemon. There's like a few kind of bunched together where the record really slows down, which was really honestly pretty cool to see, because like I said, Callous Daoboys has been a band for me that has just been consistent, all gas, no brakes, and they kind of put the brakes on with this record at certain points, which honestly, not typically someone to be like, I appreciate that, but with how crazy this band can get, I honestly appreciate the like tapping of the brake pedal for a second there.
Yeah, slow down for like 2 seconds. And
then don't worry, they just pick it back up. And the second half of the album is kind of where the true chaos of the Callous Daoboys comes back out. I feel like the first half of the album, fading into the slower songs, is kind of maybe the little bit more digestible mass appeal part of the record, where like, yes, there are chaotic bits, but the songs are a little bit more structured than a Callous Daoboys song would normally be. And then the second half of the record is just straight up let's get fucking crazy with it. We are so back. It is Callous Daoboys season all the way through and through. And I love that. I love the way that the record's structured, and I think it flows super well. And I think they knocked it out of the park. I think this album's phenomenal. I'm really excited to see what this does for the band, and I fucking love it, man. I really liked Lemon, Distracted by the Mona Lisa, Idiot Temptation Force, Douchebag Safari. Those are all great songs. So honestly, that 3-track run of Idiot Temptation Force, Douchebag Safari, and Distracted by the Mona Lisa is probably my favorite part of the record, with Distracted by the Mona Lisa being my favorite song on the album. and then I do really like the closer. It's 12 minutes long, country song in reverse, but it's super dynamic, and genuinely didn't feel like a 12-minute song when I was listening through it. It really keeps it going. I see a song that long and I instantly groan. It doesn't matter if it's my favorite band of all time. I am instantly groaning and wishing that it didn't exist. But I think that I'm glad it's at the end. If I'm not in the mood, I don't have to listen to it.
Exactly.
But it is a very fitting closer, and is very dynamic. And I think they knocked it out of the park. Achieved what should have been achieved with a song like that. Overall, phenomenal record. They're touring a bunch. They're going to be headlining in the U.S.
Headliner.
They're going to be headlining. I got that shit smacked on my calendar. I cannot miss it. Got to finally see the Callous Daoboys.
Dude. Life changing. Life fucking changing. I love Callous Daoboys. Shout out Callous Daoboys.
Shout out Callous Daoboys. Bury Tomorrow dropped their new album, Will You Haunt Me with That Same Patience. We had the band on the podcast to chat about the record. It was phenomenal. What a great chat. This album is awesome, man. We've been covering it for a minute. You know, Bury Tomorrow is one of those bands that always announce. I feel like the couple of records that we chatted about have been announced way far in advance. It's just they're the band that it's like, all right, now we got 6 months. We know the album's coming, but we gotta wait 6 months for it.
We gotta wait 6 months.
So it's finally here, and it's awesome. It's super heavy. And I love that. Like the way it opens with To Dream, To Forget is a phenomenal opener. Villain Arc is just straight up heavy as fuck. And I love that. Forever the Night is one of my favorite songs on the record. And I also really like Silence Isn't Helping Us. Let Go. Fucking just incredible record. Like I said, a lot of heavy moments, but there are a couple littered throughout that pull the curtain back just a smidge. There's really no quote unquote slow moment on the record, but there are moments where they pull it back a little bit. It gets to be a little bit more, you know, you get that clean chorus action going on. We know how much I like that. Big catchy chorus. I love that shit. I'm a sucker for that. But this album just across the board is very, very awesome and kept my attention throughout, and I love that.
Damn straight. No, this record's fucking insane. I mean, it's a heavy hitter. You kind of went through all of it, so fuck you. No, it's a heavy ass record. There are little moments. I mean, they had singles, but it's kind of like moments of those like relief, I guess, when it isn't super heavy. You mentioned, you know, it's like pulling the curtains back a smidge just to kind of give you a bit of breathing room, and then it picks right back up. So if you fucking love heavy music, if you love an album that really does not stop, and it's just constantly just fucking smacking you in the face, you're gonna enjoy this record. Me personally, I enjoyed the record. I think it's fucking crazy. Big fan. Check out the interview. It was a great conversation. And yeah, incredible record. I was gonna say insane, but so I got stuck, and then I just went with incredible. So that was the stutter.
Insane, incredible, fantastic,
immaculate. Fuck, come, whatever. Okay. Stand Atlantic dropped their deluxe version of their album Was Here. I love Stand Atlantic so much. This record was incredible before the deluxe. You were a massive fan of it. This was your moment when this record dropped. You had a moment, and I was happy for you because Stand Atlantic is a band that I associate with you because Pink Elephant. Again, it was just that time. This is great. I mean, it has like 3 remixes and then I think 2 new tracks. I think that's the lineup.
It's one new song with I'm the Man.
I'm the Man, which was my favorite. That shit is insane.
Nothing Hurts When You're Hollow is a reprise of Frenemies, because it keeps using lyrics from that song. And then there's 2 remixes with Freaking Out, the Paris remix, and then Criminal, the Mr. Bill remix.
I think it was incredible. I'm the Man is a phenomenal track. I wish it was on the original, but then again, if it was, I wouldn't have had a little moment with it today. I heard that shit and it came on and I was immediately locked in. It is such a fucking fuck you, like I'm the shit and I don't give a fuck. And I love those types of records. It's sassy as shit. It's just badass. Great song. I think the remixes typically I'm not a fan. I don't think I'll revisit them because again, I'm just not a remix person. If I want to hear the song, I'm gonna just listen to the song. The remix has to be like completely different, so my brain registers it as like a completely different entity
Mhm.
instead of oh, it's the remix of that one song. So they were good. I just don't think I'll revisit them. I'm the Man though, immediately added to my playlist. That there's something special in that song. There is something special in that song. That's all I gotta say. Shout yes, great.
Hell yeah,
Mhm.
hell yeah, yeah. I'm a little bit disappointed by the deluxe edition because
Yeah.
of the lack of new songs. Like you said, was here was one of my favorite records of last year. We got to chat with Bonnie about it, which was an
Mhm.
absolute pleasure. We got to catch up with her. We chatted with her in 2020 about Pink Elephant, and then getting to finally catch up about Was Here was awesome. That chat was fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of the record. Still something I come back to every once in a while. So, when I saw a deluxe, I was stoked, but a little disappointed by the lack of new tunes.
Mhm.
I'm the Man is a fantastic song. My favorite, my favorite from the bunch because it is the new track.
Mhm.
Nothing Hurts When You're Hollow is cool. I like the Frenemies callback,
Mhm.
which I think is dope. It's got that like kind of chill vibe to it, which coming off of I'm the Man was kind of needed
Needed. No, it's
because
such a fucking
that
great.
song is straight up in your face. Again, Gloria and I both aren't huge fans of remixes, but freaking out, I figured with Paris doing the remix that it was going to be solid and not like super disjointed and like totally changing the song to be like something totally different, which is totally cool if you like those kinds of remixes. I like my remixes to still kind of have some sort of structure of the
Yeah.
song existing somewhere. And this one definitely has it. Freaking Out is my favorite of the two remixes, although I think Criminal isn't a bad remix. Like in the grand scheme of remixes, which neither of us are fans of, these aren't like these. I'm okay with these. Like if I was listening to if I sat down and I was going to listen to the deluxe edition of the record, I wouldn't turn these off. That's where
That's
I'm
a
at.
big thing.
That's
Yeah,
where I'm
that's
at.
a compliment.
Because I don't think they are absolutely ow to my ears.
Mhm.
So I'll give him that.
Mhm.
I'm the Man, phenomenal new song. And it was nice to kind of go back, think about Was Here again, because like I said, I put it on occasionally, but it's been a minute since I have listened to the record, so it makes me want to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
So very solid.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
sure.
Linkin Park dropped the deluxe edition of their album From Zero. Another record that I was very excited about at the tail end last year, and then came out around the same time as the Poppy album that blew me the fuck away. And then I really didn't spend much time with the Linkin Park record that I was surprisingly very excited about. Got tickets to see them in August. I haven't listened to the record since I bought those tickets. I'm gonna have to figure something out, man. But I like these deluxe tracks. I wound up really enjoying the album. Like I said, didn't spend a ton of time with it, but I remember enjoying it and feeling like there were a lot of standouts. Up From the Bottom is the song that makes the most sense for me in the scope of the record. Unshatter, I can kind of take or leave in terms of whether or not it should have made the album. And then Let You Fade does feel like a B-side to me and that kind of out of left field song, but I like that it made its way out there. It kind of showcases a different side of the band in their current form, and although it would have made zero sense on the original record, it being out there and getting to hear that side of the band is really cool and exciting. But like I said, Up From the Bottom is the most From Zero feeling song current form of the band. It's also I can't escape it on fucking rock radio. I'll be honest with you, the song's fucking everywhere. Unshatter is fantastic, and Let You Fade, like I said, is that weird track, a little off-putting feeling, but I like it because it showcases a different side of the band that we didn't get to hear from this era, and that's kind of the point of a deluxe. Up from the Bottom is my favorite, even though I can't escape the song. Another deluxe making me want to go back and listen to the album. I got my listening cut out for me today.
I don't like Linkin Park. This didn't change any. We know. So breaking news. I still don't like Linkin Park. I think, I mean, there was the final song, the closer off of the deluxe. I did enjoy that. There was some Mike Shinoda vocals where it was kind of just like soft, and I kind of fucked with it. I was like, okay, I can understand. I liked this. I liked this a little bit, you know? Something about Linkin Park, man. I don't know. I have never been able to get into it, and this unfortunately didn't change anything. I went into it with an open mind because I was like, cool. You know, deluxe tracks, as you said, it's kind of meant to be like songs that are kind of in the same vein as this record, but different. They didn't fit. They're B-sides for a reason. So it kind of gives me another opportunity of, hey, you didn't like this side of Linkin Park, so maybe you'll like this side of Linkin Park, the stuff that didn't make it. I will say I do think that the first track on the deluxe, I did enjoy that a lot more. I do think it was very reminiscent of the record overall. It could have fit perfectly on From Zero, the original. And I liked it. I liked that one as well. So the first and last tracks, I'll say good. But it's just I'm warming up to it. Maybe that's it. But Linkin Park overall, I've just never really been able to, I guess, fully appreciate or enjoy the music. Hella respect. Shout out Linkin Park. But it's just never clicked.
Fair enough.
Never clicked.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Taylor Acorn dropped her new deluxe record, Survival in Motion. Hell yeah. This record is fucking incredible. The deluxe version, obviously, because that's what we're talking about. There's a Charlotte Sands feature. Match made in heaven. I don't know why this isn't. I don't honestly. Why don't they just start like a group together? To me, that just makes sense. Like they're both
little super group.
Genuinely, like a little duo. That would fucking kill, dog. That would be insane. So seeing Charlotte Sands as a feature, immediately, that is the first track. I was sold. I was like, this record's gonna be fucking crazy. I think it's perfect. I think all of the tracks are phenomenal. I think there's one slowish song. So honestly, it felt more like just an EP, a standalone thing. Didn't even have to be related to Survival in Motion. I understand, deluxe records for, extending the album rollout, getting more press, all that stuff. It's already something people are familiar with. You don't have to start from scratch with like starting a new EP name, roll out all that bullshit. This honestly just felt like an EP, and it felt like its own thing. It felt like it didn't feel like B-sides is what I'm trying to say. I enjoyed this a lot. I fucking shout out Taylor Acorn. Honestly, fucked.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it opens up with the three features, which are pulling songs that were on the record, calling people to be on the songs, which is always kind of a mixed bag for me. But I feel like calling on Charlotte Sands to do any of the songs on the record just made sense. Just calling on just Charlotte Sands and Taylor Acorn together makes sense. And Greener with Mitchell Tenpenny. I remember when when Taylor was promoting this one, and I was like, this could go either way, because it's like a country feature with Greener, which is my favorite song on the record. It's like, this could go either way. It kind of rocks though. It kind of rocks. It kind of fucks though. And then Nervous System with Lolo is kind of like Charlotte Sands, where it just makes sense calling on Lolo to
make it a trio.
To pick a song on the record to go for makes sense. And then the two new songs, Burning House and Hell of a Show, both just fit. They just feel like extensions of the album, and I really appreciate that. So many deluxes this week, and all making me want to go back to albums that came out in the fall time, which is so fun. But special shout out to Burning House and Hell of a Show as the new songs on the deluxe. They're both very solid. Taylor Acorn, someone that just across the board can write a very mean chorus, and I love that. And you know, her vocal performances are always stand out as well. So no complaints here with this. Very solid. Makes me want to revisit the album for show.
Oh, show.
Hell
Damn
yeah.
straight.
Ryan Oakes dropped his new single "Freaky Friday." It fucks, man.
Freaky. Yeah, no, it fucks.
It fucks.
Mm-hmm.
It fucks. I'm really, you know, as always, digging what Ryan Oakes is doing. This is no exception. Shit rocks.
Shit rocks. Hell yeah. Cherie Amour dropped the new single, 1-800-Paranoid. This rollout, they're doing so fucking good. I love this track. Honestly, I think all of the singles that they've dropped so far have been phenomenal. They're switching it up. They are, well, not even switching up. They're leaning farther into what they're good at. And I feel like because they're working with Skylar Accord, they're doing their fucking thing. They're promoting, they are doing music videos. They're like checking all the boxes. They're doing everything right. They will get their flowers. I am certain of it because this band has been one of my favorites since we met them, honestly. They immediately grabbed our attention. I'm so excited. This track fucks. Good job, Cherie Amour. Crushing it.
Yeah. Track fucking rocks, man. Album comes out in a few weeks, which I'm very excited about. And, you know, I'm really digging the new era of Cherie Amour. I'm excited to hear the full thing.
They're doing so good. Hell yeah.
Archers dropped their new single "Wide Awake" off their upcoming EP. This band, I feel like, has really leveled up throughout this entire rollout. This song is absolutely phenomenal, and I've really been digging all of the singles off the EP thus far, and I'm excited for the full EP next month, I think.
Oh, good. Okay, so it's right around the corner. Thank God. Yeah, no, very excited. This track is incredible. They're such a solid band. So honestly, I see that they're dropping something, and I'm not like worried. I'm just like, oh, okay, that should be good. Yeah. Immediately, it's just checked off in my head. Like, yeah, it's gonna be good. I don't have to stress about that. Great band, great track. Very excited. Very fucking excited. Scary Kids Scaring Kids and Cat Leon dropped their new single "Oblivion." You remember when we used to as laughing?
I do remember that.
What the fuck was that?
I think about our time spent on the internet and Discord servers, and I routinely cringe at it. Yeah, because this is a common occurrence of things I think about.
Yeah. I just don't understand. Like, whatever. Anyway, sorry.
Not important.
No. Completely unrelated. Yeah. I'm sure half the people listening will be like, yeah, what the fuck was that about? Because everyone fucking did it, and it came out of nowhere. So Scary Kids Scaring Kids dropped a new track. And I think it's incredible. I do thoroughly enjoy this band. I think I always, like, I don't want to say forget about them, but it's always a pleasant surprise when I do listen to them again, when they do drop something new, because they are a band that always grabs my ear when they are in the podcast playlist, because it's something, I don't know, it's again, prog, I feel like it's just the wrong word, because prog, I feel like it has to be like 8 minutes long and a fucking ballad mixed with a breakdown mixed with all this shit. But I feel like they do so many things, and I feel like they do it so well, and it's always fresh, and it's always just enjoyable. And that's just a theme with Scary Kids Scaring Kids, especially with their last single that they dropped, where it was just like refreshing to listen to. It's great, and I'm a big fan, and I feel like it's a band that I should really like get into, and I need to deep dive their discography, because every time I listen to them, it's just a wave of, damn, this is good. This track is no exception. Great song.
Yeah. This song fucks. You know, they really don't have like a set vocalist, so that kind of always makes it interesting. You know, with the instrumentals, it's going to sound a certain way, but in terms of lyrically, you don't know who the fuck is going to be singing the words that are written for the goddamn song, which is always adds a unique twist to when this band makes their way onto the playlist. I think the song is great, and I'm excited for more. President dropped their new single "In the Name of the Father."
Who the fuck is this?
I genuinely have no fucking idea. This just kind of appeared on my fucking Instagram and TikTok timelines and feeds as the new masked band. Everyone was talking about it. Apparently, this band's been teasing shit for months. They're making their debut performance at Download Festival.
That's a crazy debut.
Crazy
Okay.
debut. They've got a headline show that they announced as well. So I was like, you know what, man? New exciting band in the scene. We'll talk about it, because we had gotten a press release about it. I was like, what the fuck is a president? Who the what the fuck?
What even is a
no
president?
more masked bands. That's what I think. No more masked bands.
Too
many. Yes, Ghost and Sleep Token have success. We do not need a third one.
No, guys.
The third
Stop
one
it.
is Slipknot. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Even though we know who they are. Shut up.
Corey motherfucking Dale.
Yeah. So I had no idea what the fuck to expect. I don't think the song is terrible, but the first half of it genuinely blows. The auto-tune, the auto-tune on the song makes it goddamn near unlistenable. The second half with the breakdown is cool, but overall, I'm confused. I'm really confused. The song's not my favorite because the first half is borderline unlistenable. And yeah, I just I'm lost. Someone fill me in on where this came from.
No bueno. I didn't like this shit. I listened to it and I went, who is this? You know, it's just like, who the fuck do you think? Okay, so they're debuting at Download Fest. So this is the band that everyone thought was like My Chem. Because I'm pretty sure that was a theory that I read where it was like, who, because everyone was like, who the fuck's president and why are they headlining? Well, not headlining, you know, playing
on the bill.
Yeah. So everyone in, not my circle, because we didn't fucking talk, but it's just kind of like
on the internet
thought it was My Chemical Romance because they just started kind of the release of their new era with the, I don't even know what the fuck My Chem's doing over there.
I'm so lost with what they're doing because they're going to be touring, celebrating the Black Parade, but in 2 weeks, but in 2 weeks we've got a deluxe edition and remix and remaster of 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge coming out.
There's too many eras clashing.
They're
like
doing it all at the same time.
Yeah, it should have been a 3 Cheers tour.
It should have been a Bullet store.
I'd go to either. Honestly, I would go to either one, but I'm just pissed. Don't even fucking remind me about the Black Parade tour because that shit. And now they're doing the Black Parade is Alive or Rises in Mexico City. I thought that was cool, but at the same time, I'd be so fucking pissed. I'd be like, what the fuck are you gonna say at that? The Black Parade is alive. Like that's not it's fucking dumb as shit. I didn't like this song. I'll just say I didn't like the song. Fuck this song. I hope it gets better because there's no way you're going to be putting out Poopy Dookie and have this much, I guess, this big of a spotlight put on you, you know? Like, you should have some good shit up your sleeve if you're debuting this way.
Yeah.
Anyways, Lorna Shore dropped their new song, Oblivion. Welcome back, Lorna Shore. This is undeniably Lorna Shore. This is heavy as shit. In the best way possible. I don't understand a single thing that was said in this song. And it just was like a billion gut punches, and then they kicked me to the ground, and then they like dropped like a slushie on me, and I said, "All right, well."
And then spit on you to leave it to the icing on the cake.
Yeah. So Lorna Shore, welcome back. Crazy ass shit. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. This song is fucking phenomenal. We're so fucking back. Will Ramos, insane as always. Dynamic for sure. It's a very long song, but it's very dynamic. It doesn't feel as long as it is. Announced upcoming record coming out in September and announced an absolutely massitive headlining tour. I cannot believe how big these rooms are. The deathcore money. There's deathcore money out there.
Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought?
I can't believe it, but I'm loving the tour package. I'm thinking New York City. I will be there.
The tour package is bonkers. I saw that. I went, whoa, okay.
Currently holding out because it's right around Halloween and Motionless in White always does their thing around Halloween. So I'm holding out for now. There were talks about maybe another Apocalypse Fest, and I would and potentially doing Infamous in full. So Lorna Shore's from New Jersey. There will always be more Lorna Shore, but Infamous in full, there's not always another chance for that. So I'm currently holding out. But the tour package with the Black Dahlia Murder and Shadow of Intent and Peeling Flesh is awesome. Black Dahlia Murder in particular.
Name. I don't like that.
Yeah, Black Dahlia Murder in particular is a band that I've wanted to see. So these two bands together would be cool. Would be cool to see. But yeah, absolutely insane the rooms they're playing. They're playing the small room in Madison Square Garden because Madison Square Garden has a theater, and they're just headlining that. It just keeps getting bigger every fucking time I see them. It's wild. So yeah, shout out Lorna Shore.
Shout out Lorna Shore. Yeah. Damn straight.
The home team dropped their new single "Worthy." I know you're giddy as shit about this.
It's not like I've seen this music video and I've listened to it like 50 times. Why the fuck would I do that?
No.
I love the home team. I came to the conclusion last night while watching their music videos. I went, damn, I think they're like top 5 bands for me. And it's like I didn't even realize until I looked at my plays and my stats and I went, when did you guys get here? The Crucible of Life is just such a good record. It's genuinely, I've listened to it start to finish, fucking shuffled, like so many times since it's been released. It is, I know all the lyrics now. I've seen them live, thankfully, post Crucible of Life. So it's like, I think they qualify now to be in my top 5. They're so fucking good. This song is so fucking groovy. It is such an ass shaker. I have it running in my head right now. Music videos, so satisfying to watch. It's like they did everything right in my brain. Especially with kind of like, I don't want to call it a breakdown. Can it be classified? I guess the breakdown at the end. We're just kind of, it gets big. That part is immaculate. Such a good song, such a good band. They know how to music.
They know how to music for sure. Yeah, this song is fucking catchy as hell. Comes off the deluxe edition of The Crucible of Life coming out later this year. And song fucks. Exactly what I expected. Song fucks. All reliable from the home team for sure.
Damn straight.
Hell yeah.
Daisy Grenade dropped their new single. So happy.
I've been waiting for this one. I'm going to be honest with you. This shit's been all over my goddamn TikTok For You page.
That goddamn clock app.
That goddamn clock app. It rocks. This is honestly potentially my favorite Daisy Grenade song so far. Shit rocks. I think it bumps.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Daisy Grenade. Again, you just said old reliable for the home team. But honestly, Daisy Grenade is one of those bands where it's like, they're just going to put out a good track and it's going to be catchy or it's going to be just like a, fuck, that was good. Holy shit. All right. Just one of those bands. And it's great to see that they're kind of in their groove, in their flow this soon into, I don't know, their career, I guess. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Deadlands dropped their new single Limbo, announced their upcoming EP come out in June, which I'm very excited about. Song fucks, dude. Casey's vocals, as always, are insane. Opens up, just immediately punches you in the gut, and I love that. This band's phenomenal. I'm excited for another EP.
Damn straight. Deadlands is incredible. You kind of nailed it. The vocals are insane. Just the song overall is just a fucking gut punch. Crazy song. Big fan of Deadlands. This is one of those bands. Fucking hell yeah. Hell yeah. Born of Osiris dropped their new single Through Shadows. Crazy as shit. Banger. Fucks.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. Been patiently waiting for an album announcement from Born of Osiris because I was really digging all the singles that they were putting out last year. Album comes out in July now. Also called Through Shadows. This is honestly my least favorite of all of the singles thus far. I felt like all of the singles were very bouncy, heavy, but also very bouncy feeling. I love that. This song is not so much that, but I still think it's solid. And I'm very excited for this album rollout because I kind of became a fan of the band through the singles that are now going to be on the record that were dripping out throughout last year. Should be dope.
Should be dope. Hell yeah.
Shadow of Intent dropped their new single Infinity of Horrors. Straight up fucking ass beater.
Hell yeah. Fucking ass beater. Crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
Just crazy ass shit. Insane. Fucking bonkers. I keep using just, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, straight. Loveless dropped his new single, Step Back. Welcome back, Loveless.
Good to see you back.
Damn. Fuck yeah. The vocals, Loveless is just, the vocalist is just fucking insane. I am a big fan of, I mean, choruses, you're the chorus guy, but it's just, Loveless to me, they just make such good music. The vocals especially just stand out. They are insane. I'm a big fan of this track. I'm happy to see that they're back. And yeah, damn straight.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good to see Loveless back. It's good to see Julian making new tunes. And this song is fucking phenomenal. You know, really, really digging it. Big chorus guy, big fan of Loveless as always, and their ability to write phenomenal choruses. I'm excited to see whatever's going to come next. And we will be following along, that's for sure.
Damn straight.
Hell yeah.
Damn straight.
Well, that's all the topics we have today. You can follow us on Instagram. It's Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. YouTube is Good Noise Podcast. Audio streaming services are all Good Noise Podcast. And Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Always got your Patreon supporters, your Twitch subs, your important plugs, your merch store plug, and your Amazon storefront plug. And then we're going to sign off.
Check out our merch. It is goodnoisepodcast.creator-spring.com. We have hats. Still no socks. I'll probably look into that. I keep joking, but it's like I want socks. Check out our Amazon storefront. It has all of our equipment that we used for the podcast. Obviously not today. Obviously not today on my
We'll put our phones in there as well. Well, maybe just Glory.
What the fuck? You know, why the hell not? Phones and fucking earbuds. Yeah. It has like our mics, it has our cameras, it has our monitors and graphics cards and whatever you want, it's there. And we get a tiny little piece of it if you buy something, and that helps fund the podcast. Thank you to our Patreon supporters, Matt from Pulses, Pop Punk Apologist, David Arrington, Tyson from Heal the Hurt, and Eric. And thank you to our Twitch sub, Matt, again from Pulses. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Yay! Important plugs. Black Lives Matter. Stop Asian hate. Free Palestine, be a decent person, have a good time at shows. You know, who gives us the cool guy shit? Fuck it, you know? Headbang if you want to. Just don't be an asshole, you know? Like, still be aware of your surroundings and shit, but like, have a good time, you know?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we have today. I've been Shane.
I've been Glory.
And we've been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.